This conference will now be recorded.
Any questions on that? So only two people, Sweta and Pramod, has submitted the assignment. Only two people actually. What happened to the rest of the guys? Okay. So now here we'll entering into the concept of how to enable your S3 bucket, right, as an storage environment, right? So you need to convert this block storage device. You need to install few utilities, right, and then you need to enable the respective, right, the storage mechanisms for your respective S3 bucket, right? For this, you need to have to install a few utilities actually to ensure that you have been enable the right to ensure that you have been enabled the respective procedure here. So let's say consider you have your respective S3 bucket where you want to manage that S3 bucket as a file system storage over your respective EC2 instances. You need to mount it. So to enable that, how to perform the activity will going to be discussed. So later we're going to be enable our respective S3 storage environment, right? S3 storage environment as an as a typically a static website. Typically a static website here. That one thing will going to be discussed right now, right? So today I'm been using the only one screen actually. I'm not using the multiple screen. So you may find some disturbance here. So now here, the concept here, what you are trying to discuss here is so you're going to be create an S3 bucket, which is an object level storage, but your requirement is you need to go ahead and create the EC2 instances here, right? Creating here AS3 bucket, right? AS3 bucket, and you need to attach this respective S3 bucket here is as a block storage device. This is what you guys are doing here as a block storage device here. So for that, you need to create an S3 bucket and you need to have a EC2 instances. Right? The requirement is clear. So enabling the S3 as an S3 bucket as a storage environment, right? As an storage ENV for an EC2 instances, right? For a EC2 instances. So for that, you need an 82 instances. As our guys are into right every tier version, you need to have an EC2 instances and you need to have an S3 bucket. So now here, you guys need to have three things here. So one is with the EC2 instances. I think I don't have access, guys. So let me call to that 30%, because I don't have access. Just give me a second. Let me call to that respective admin team. It seems it's already recording, so that's what the admin team has given the confirmation. Okay, the thing is, yeah, what I'm trying to say is, yeah, here you need to have an one instances and followed by your respective S3 bucket, right? Followed by your respective S3 bucket. So now here, you need to ensure that create the respective instances here and also create a respective S3 bucket for your right for your enablement of EC2 instances to your S3 bucket here. So launch the instances here. So selecting the Amazon Linux as your instance type, sorry, instance AMI, and T2 micro as your respective instance type. Add the storage environment as 15. This I'm going to name this one as an EC2-S3. EC2-S3. Right. Security groups as of now you're not required. You're just enabling the SSH to connect your respective EC2 instances. Right. You're just enabling the SSH to connect your respective EC2 instances. And review and launch the instances. So launching of instances is done. Right. Similarly, you need to create a S3 bucket within this region. Similarly, you guys need to create a S3 bucket within this region. So go for the services. Ensure that you have an S3 bucket. So create a S3 bucket in the Singapore region because your EC2 instances is in Singapore. So now here I would like to converting this one as an EC2 S3 as per the unique name 7789 because the bucket name should be unique across all the regions actually because the bucket name should be unique when compared to all the regions actually to maintain that one unique nature. So I'm been using this one, right, as a right as a to gain that respective unique nature, right? So this is one thing which I am doing here right now. And then the next main important thing here is I would like to ensure that, right? I would like to ensure that the S3 bucket should have the versioning here. You know what is versioning here. What is the purpose of versioning, guys? What does it do? What is the purpose of versioning? What does it do? So versioning will going to be helpful for it. It's not going to overwrite your existing, right? Existing the file or the folder, and it's going to create a copy and it try to enable the version for the previous one and it try to recreate the respective resources with the help of right new version name, right, with the help of new version name. So now here you've been enabling these respective ECLs to block your respective public access and enabling the versioning. So add tags for your respective identification purpose. Name equal to EC2-S3. Right. Enable the server side encryption. Enable the server side encryption here over the S3 bucket and create a bucket here. So now here, so you need to follow as I can attach the respective object level storage to the EC2 instances. Can I attach it? Object level storage to an EC2 instances. Can I attach that object level storage to an EC2 instances? No. So I need to enable a file system for the S3, right? I need to enable a file system for the respective S3. So how to do that? To enable the file system for the S3, right? Enable the file system for the S3. I need to ensure that, right? I need to ensure that, right? I need to ensure that EC2 instances need to be configured within required binaries. Within required binaries. So let me log into the EC2 instances and enable the respective binaries. So getting authenticated here. So now here I'm being authenticated to your respective instance, right? For the better visualization, let me change the font size as well as enable the board. Right. So now here you've been enabling the few of the basic commands of to enable your respective S3 FS file system environment to mount your respective EBS S3 bucket as an EBS volume to your EC2 instances. So for that, you need to install the few of the binaries here. So now here I'm been using the this command here, right? I'm been using the command here sudo m install automake, right? And a few of the binaries like GCC library and other the curl libraries and OpenSSL libraries. So here I'm been depending installing the respective packages for your S3 here. Right. Once this is the first step that you guys are going to be installed here. Let me make a note for you. First step, you guys need to ensure that you have enabled the respective, right, binaries for the S3 bucket, right, binaries for the S3FS to enable the S3 file system, right, S3FS. And secondly, you guys need to install the script you need to run for your respective S3 bucket here. So how many of you guys are aware of how to clone the Git repository? Is there any specific command to clone the respective Git repository? Git clone, right? Git clone. So I've been cloning this one, right? Git clone and the specific URL. This is the HTTPS URL here. I've been cloning the Git clone here. S3FS and FUC. Right? Git clone here. I'm been using Git clone and the respective URL I've been using here. Right? Git clone and the specific URL I've been using here. And secondly, so you need to switch it to this directory. How to change the directory? S3FS FUC this time. CD. CD stands for change directory. Right? These are the things that you have here. Right? These are the things that you have here. I'm clear as of now. What I did, I have installed a binaries, right? I have installed this respective, right? I have cloned the respective a Git URL, right? Am I clear on this as of now? Any questions, any doubts? Right. So now here we need to execute the script. How to execute the script? The Linux environment. How to execute the script? sh or autogen dot respective sh, or else you can use simply, this is one method, or else you can use the simply here dot sh, sorry, dot autogen dot sh, right? It has been installing the specific tools actually. Then you need to, you have been using the, right, you need to configure this respective file system. So now here the command is to dot configure, right? Dot configure hyphen prefix equal to slash user, right? And with respective OpenSSL, with respective OpenSSL, with respective OpenSSL. So you need to compile this. So what you are doing after the git clone, so change the directory cd s3, change the directory, right, to this one, and then, right, and then you need to execute the autogen.sh, right, autogen.sh, and then finally what you guys need to do, you need to ensure that configure here, configure, right, hyphen prefix equal to slash user, right, right, and with hyphen OpenSSL, hyphen with hyphen OpenSSL, and then you need to ensure that after all this you need to go for the make actual, you need to compile this as the source code. It will going to be perform the activities to ensure that you have enabled the S3 file system. Jiva, you joined late actually today. So you've been discussing with the S3 bucket, how to attach your respective S3 bucket to your EC2 storage environment. So now after that you need to perform the command as make install actually. You've been installing the binaries of the S3 here. Then you need to use the which to verify it, which is S3FS. So you have been, what you guys are doing, trying to doing now here, you have been attaching the respective, right? You have been attaching the respective S3 file system. So previously, when you guys are using the EBS volume, which file system you guys are used? Which file system you guys are used? Previously, when you guys are attaching the EBS volume, which file system you guys used? You guys are using XFS file system. Now you have been attaching the S3 block, right? S3 bucket as your respective storage. And so for that you required an file system. Firstly, you guys are ensuring that to performing the file system here. Firstly, you guys are ensuring that to performing the respective file system here. That's what you guys are doing here. So this is what you guys are doing it. And secondly, you guys are need to ensure that, right? And secondly, you guys need to ensure that. Secondly, you guys need to ensure that these EC2 instances having the caliber to access your respective S3 resources. So for that, you need to create a key, right? For that, you guys need to create a key here. So now here, what is the second step you guys are doing here? After this, you have did the right? After this, you have to make and then make install, right? Make install, and then you have verified here. To verify what is the command you have used to verify the file system you have used, which S3FS, right? Which F3 S3FS. Now it has been showcased in the respective pin, right? This is what you do. So now you are easy to want to access the respective S3 bucket. Actually, you are easy to want to access the respective S3 bucket here, right? Now you are easy to want to access your respective S3 bucket. Now what you guys are doing here? So you guys are creating the access key of respective S3 file system of the to gain the access of S3 bucket from the EC2. So for that, you need to know about the concept called IAM, Identity Access Management. That I will discuss now once this is done. So as of now, IAM is to providing the access to your from your respective EC2 instances to your S3 bucket, right? Your S3 bucket. That is one main important thing. So now here, so now here, creating the users. I've been using the admin user actually as of now. Go for the IAM, create the users. So admin user. Here, as of now, let's select the programmatic access, which is your respective access. Programmatic access, which is your respective access key. Next, permissions. Attach the permissions, which is an admin permission key, right? Which is an admin permission key. Name equal to admin. Next, review. Create the user. So this is your access key and secret key. This you need to be safeguarded in a right in a decent place actually. So once you have lost this access key and secret key, you cannot retrieve it. Right? You cannot retrieve it. So now here, how to create an empty file? What is the command to create an empty file? Touch, right? Touch /etc. I've been using the command as /etc, right? Password -s3 -x. Now I've been creating that respective BAM. I've been using this access key and secret key here. I've been placing this access key and secret key here. The first thing I've been placing the access key, and the second thing I've been placing the respective the secret key, followed by the colon actually, and saving the respective file. I've been using the W. And how to view the file? What is the command to view the file, guys? Cat, right? Cat is the command to view the file. I'm been using the this respective cat /etc password -s3. So this is one main important thing here, right? This is one main important thing. So and the secondary you guys need to use to provide the file permissions here. Right? You guys need to provide the file permissions here. So for that you need to provide the file permissions. You need to use the command called chmod, right? 640 and the respective file /etc password -s3, right? This is the one you guys are going to be using the command to provide the file permissions. Let us make a note here. After that, you need to the 8 steps. You need to create a directory. You need to create a file. To create a empty file here, right? Empty file here. So for that, you need to use the command called touch /etc password hyphen s3 hyphen s3 fs, right? Later you have entered into the, you have opened this file into the flat etc bam flat etc password s3fs, and you are storing the access key and secret key. Go for the insert mode and save this respective file, and then you providing the respective permissions here. To provide the respective permissions, you need to use the command called chmod 640 /etc password hyphen s3fs, right? So this is one thing, /etc password hyphen s3 hyphen, this is one thing. So now here you need to how to mount a directory here, how to mount a directory here, how to mount a directory here. So firstly you need to create a directory here with the command called mkdir, right? To mount, before you need to create a directory called mkdir and the directory name. I would like to mount this one into the /s3 bucket, right? mkdir /s3 bucket, mkdir /s3 bucket here. I'm being mounting, and then for this you need to use one command here, right? For this you need to use one command here. So s3fs, right? And the bucket name, right? And the bucket name here. What is my bucket name here? The one which I have created right now. EC2-S3 7778. This is my bucket name, right? This is my bucket name. And as you already aware of, in the /etc/fs tab, you've been entering few things. Similarly, you need to use to mount it. Use cache, whatever the cache is going to be there, going to be stored under the temp directory, and you are been allowing the few specific permissions. For you are allowing the permissions for your specific user, which is through user ID 0 for the root you are being associating, and you also been providing the respective umask value as default user mask value here, which decides your permissions for your files and directory equal to 002, right? And also, so multi marks request, you've been specifying maximum equal to 5, multi request max equal to 5, and the directory which you have created. So finally, S3 bucket. Here, this is your file system S3fs, and this is your bucket name, and all the cache are going to be stored under the /temp. And by default, the authority will going to be have over the root, which is going to be having the 0, and the umask value, which decides the permissions for your respective files and folders. By default, the value is 002, and the multi request equal to 5, maximum request equal to 5, and you are mounting to the respective bucket. Okay, unable to access this mount point. Okay, let this change to normal user 1001. Let us change it to the normal user, not for the root user. Right, let me try this. Unable to access the mount point. Slash S3 bucket is there, right?
We need to provide mount before that.
No. There is some syntax error I did, so let me check. It correct only. S3FS, your bucket name. Hyphen no, use the pen. Cache hyphen no. Hello underscore user. Okay. Here I missed the hyphen UID. Right. Hyphen output. Yeah, I missed the hyphen one. So this is the mount point which I have been creating. Right. So now here, this is where now here how to verify whether this is got attached successfully or not. So this is how you need to verify here. And this is your file. So I'm been creating the 100 files, let's say. I'm been using the 100 files. I'm creating the 100 files here. Look at this latency actually when you are using the S3 bucket. You have observed the latency, right? This is not because of my bandwidth. So the way how it create, it will have the latency actually. So I have an 100 files right now. If you observe that, see, if you observe that, now the file which I have created, 100 files I created, is stored in your respective history. Am I clear on this? This is pretty important actually. But this will going to be helpful for you when you really, for the non-productive data, very non-productive data. For example, probably on logs or the images or the video content, right? This is where you guys are going to be used here. Am I clear on this? Any questions, any doubts?
How
Am
this
I clear,
version
guys?
from the console, right? How will ensure that proper version is picked or I'm putting the proper version?
Sorry, come again. Proper version.
No, let's say I pushed a file 40, right? Next time when I'll be pushing the same file with some other data, so it will create another copy, right? For that.
Yeah, you can use, let's say, suppose, yeah, let me showcase you. you can use the show versions actually. It will showcase you the versions. So this is the previous versions. It already archived. Actually. This is the previous versions, which is already archived, right? The previous versions are going to be archived. The current versions are going to be showcasing your respective listing, right? So this is how you can able to ensure it. So this is one main important thing here, the version, right? So this is how you guys are going to ensure that the versioning is going to be helpful for you. So this is a use practical, right? This is a use practical, right? That you guys need to ensure that.
Shanmugh, that password you're creating, right, under /etc. So that is a location or where we can able to get some anywhere.
No, that is no. You can go with an anywhere, but you need to ensure that file permission should be on top of it. 640.
Good.
That's how you guys are going to be ensure that to attach your respective S3 bucket to your EC2 instances. Now S3 also will have one more capability, so one more use case for S3 as well. People are going to be use that S3 as your one more like usage actually. So the thing is, you guys are going to be enable the respective static website. Right, you guys are going to be enable the respective static website actually. Right, so that ensured you need to ensure it. Static website, how to enable the S3, static S3 bucket as your respective static website that you need to ensure. So before reaching to that level, you guys need to having the end-to-end understanding of IAM action before reaching to how to enable your respective S3 bucket as a static website. So before you need to enable the, you need to ensure the end-to-end, right? You need to ensure the end-to-end enablement of your respective, right? End-to-end your respective enablement of your respective IAM actually. How IAM works, how the IAM is going to be helpful for you, that you need to ensure it. So now here, so IAM is completely designed in a perspective of, right? IAM is a completely designed in a IAM is a completely designed in a perspective of to provide the identity and access, to provide the identity and access for your respective, right? To provide the identity and access for your respective AWS console. So now here IAM deals with identity and access management, as you guys already may know, few of the guys. Right, IAM is going to be deals with identity and access management. Right, identity and access management. So this is completely deals with your respective authentication and authorization. Authentication and authorization. Right, this is completely deals with authentication and authorization here. Right, this is completely deal with authentication and authorization. So now here, you need to ensure that. So now here you need to ensure that both authentication and authorization has been controlled with the help of IAM here. So what is authentication and what is authorization? Let's discuss first what is your understanding of authentication and what is your understanding of authorization.
So
Any
giving,
comments there?
yeah,
Yeah.
authentication means the user ID which you are giving, right? Authorization means the credential which is providing for the user and authenticating and going inside, right? This authorization with a secured way of logging.
So you are telling me about authentication, but then what is authorization then?
You are eligible to access the particular site or something with this credential in a secure way.
Exactly. Authorization is something like permissions are eligible. True. So authentication is whether you guys are authenticating in terms of IAM I'm been discussing. Whether you guys are authentication in the sense whether you guys are entering into an respective console either with the or entering to access your respective resources. Authentication is completely right. Authentication is completely providing in the two ways actually. One is the way with management console. One is the way with management console, right? Management console. And second wave is with the management console. You need to provide either you guys are authenticating to your respective username and the password, right? Username and the password, or you guys are entering with the SAML based authentication, or you guys are providing the single sign-on, right? Either you guys are authenticating to the respective Gmail, or either you guys are authenticating to the respective Google or the Facebook single sign-on, right? Single sign-on here. Either you guys are doing these things. So followed by your, if you are using the username and password, followed by your respective MFA, followed by your respective MFA here, multi-factor authentication here, followed by your respective MFA, multi-factor authentication here, right? MFA is followed by the multi-factor authentication, whether if you are using the username and the password, right? Multi-factor authentication, right? Multi-factor authentication here, followed by the multi-factor authentication here. So now here you need to ensure that after entering with this procedure, providing the username and the password, or after entering into your respective console, whether this respective user will have an eligible, or whether this respective user will have an right authority to access the resources, authority to access the resources here. So whether authentication will provide the username and the password to entering into your respective premises, whereas authorization will going to be decide whether this respective user will have a read access, or whether this respective user will have a write access, or update access, or the delete. Write access or update, you call this one as an modify, or he can able to delete the resources, right? Or he can able to delete the resources. Whether this respective person will going to be have an authorization or not. Right? Whether this respective person will have an authorization or not. So authentication and authorization, these are the two different areas that is going to be managed to IAM actually. Right? That is going to be managed to IAM here. Right? Am I clear on this? What is the meaning of authentication and what is the meaning of authorization? Right? What is the meaning of authentication and what is the meaning of authorization? So this is what you guys are going to be dealing with the help of service called IAM, Identity Access Management Service. You guys are dealing with the help of service called IAM here, Identity Access Services here. So now here you should ensure that. Right? Now here you should ensure that. Right? Now here you should ensure that you have an in the IAM. You guys are going to dealing with the number of sub services here. One is with users, and the second one is with the groups. Second one is with the groups, and the third one is with the roles. Right, and third one is with the roles. And you guys are dealing with the one more main important thing called under the roles. You will have a policies here. Right, under the roles you have a policies here. So here you also will going to be have an right. You also going to be have an right. You also going to be have an MFA multi-factor authentication here for the users who are using the management console through username and password. And you're also going to be deal with the SAML based authentications for your single sign-on. Right, SAML based authentication for single sign-on. And also you're also going to be manage the password policies and the credentials report. Right, password policies and the credential reports here. Right, credential report here. This is one main important password policies and the credential report. This is how it's going to work perform. So now here, you need to ensure that this all is going to be managed with the help of your identity and access management services in the AWS. So basically, when a new user, right, comes into your respective organization, right, when a new user comes into your respective organization, you will have the two accesses here, right? You will have the two accesses here. So one is with the respective, either you guys are going to provide the username and the password and ask him to enable them, and ask him to enable them multi-factor authentication, right? And ask him to the enable the MFA here, multi-factor authentication here. And the secondly, you guys are directly providing him through the SAML based authentication. You guys are directly providing to the SAML based authentication. Directly you will have a Google access. Based upon the respective Google access, you can able to sign in your respective AWS console, right? SAML based authentication here to providing the single sign-on. So this is how it's going to be happen here. Here the user will going to be have an AWS management console access and the programmatic access. AWS management console access and the programmatic access here. AWS management console access. The second one you have an programmatic access. This programmatic access will going to provide you the respective access keys and secret keys. Access keys and the secret keys here. So here, with the help of this access keys and secret keys, you guys are can able to connect to your respective resources. So mostly this access keys and secret key are going to be useful for you to connect your respective resources either CLI or whether from your respective SDK. By using these access keys and secret keys, you guys are going to connect via CLI, command line interface, or SDK by using the software development kits or the SDK using the software development kits. So with the help of this, you guys are going to be access your respective resources, right? Access your respective resources here. Access your respective resources here. Am I clear on this? Any questions, any doubts? So this is how you guys are dealing with your respective IAM here. Very important concept here. Any questions guys would like to ask me? Pramod. So SAML is going to be helpful for you to enable the SSO action, right? Single sign-on, SAML based authentication, right? Single sign-on that I will showcase you in the practical to get the more picture. MFA, you guys might be using the MFA actually. It's kind of you guys are using the Google Authenticator, right? To generate the OTP of 6 digits to get login into your respective AWS console, right? 6 digits. So one factor of authentication is your username and the password, and second factor of authentication is to provide the 6 digits to enable your respective usage, right? This is what you guys are performing that. Am I clear on this? That is true. You guys are dealing with your section token. There is a concept called section token that I will discuss. Right? That I will discuss. But if you guys are connecting to your respective resources by using the access keys and secret keys, how to enable, if you want to integrate your MFA, that is going to happen to your respective section token actually. Right? That I will discuss. So we'll stop it by today here, and we'll entering into the practical by tomorrow, how to create users, how to differentiate with the groups, and how to create your own policies by using the AWS policy generator, right? So those things will going to be discussed by tomorrow here. So let me go open your assignment. 2 people got submitted. One is with this guy. Pramod has submitted actually.
That mounting that S3 bucket for user catch you are mentioning /template, that also is, we can choose any path, right?
Yeah, any path you can choose. But why the cache is going to be used as /temp? Why use the /temp actually? Any guess why I use /temp rather than using other directory? For only for the cache. So now what is the difference between provision and serverless actually? That is. What does it do? Provision as well as serverless.
We need not to select the hardware options for the serverless.
That means it's kind of an auto scaling based upon the usage. It will automatically ensure the
Scale.
hardware capability. So what is the purpose of slow query logs? What
To
does
check
it do?
the uh, uh, to check the logs from if any query is not working, like
If any kind of queries has taken the use time to execute, while enabling the slow query logs, we'll find out the specific queries has been taking much time to execute actually. So when you enable the slow query logs, you guys are going to be identify there is a degrading of the database performance, right? So slow query logs only for the when you guys are need to debug your respective RDS, only for the specific point of time, not for the creation of the server. So your developer will going to explicitly ask you. So seems there is an suspicion over your respective databases. Can you please enable the slow query logs? At this moment only, you need to enable the slow query logs only for the time being.
Chinmak, only half of assignments submitted.
Okay.
Still more is.
Failover is not done, right?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Thanks. At least you submitted up to this line. Sweta is there. Sweta is here.
I think not.
Yeah. Okay. So now here, I will share you the resumes actually. Yesterday, Pramod, I think day before yesterday, he asked.
Pramod, I
Right.
submitted a statement on Thursday.
Uh, so I will share you the resumes actually. Yeah, I will share you the resumes. So, but this is very premature state. You guys are to prepare your resume, right? But still, I'm providing the resumes actually. Okay. So you guys should take time to prepare your resumes, and once you guys have prepared your resumes, okay, just ask me to validate it. As soon as you prepare the resume, first I will ensure that okay, I will provide you the go ahead, then only you can right, then only you can upload it on your respective right, your respective job portals. That is one thing. So I have shared a couple of resumes. One is for the senior and second one is for the right the intermediate one of 3 years. Right, for the sample resumes. Let's go for it. Right, and later point of time I will share you the few more resume based upon your need. Right. That is one thing is. Okay, okay. Those are you guys are very premature state to like submitted your resumes on your job portals. So I don't believe this is the right time. Still, you need to complete the main topic called VPC. So this is the assignment you asked me to validate. The volume, Jiva, EVS one, huh? Okay. Yeah, this is what I asked actually. So now which file system you guys are using here? You need to use the command called df-h capital T. Then it will showcase the file system type as well. Here you need to use, so here you guys need to use the volume type of GP2 or GP3. GP3 you need to use. This is the latest one actually. Like GP3 you need to use, not GP2. So this is the file system. Which file system you guys are using? XFS file system. This is the latest one. Guide MKFS FST. No time is not necessary actually. So you should ensure that the same volume should be mounted to your respective EC2 instances which is there. Fine, this looks good for me. So only the thing is you need to ensure the GP2, right? GP2 instead of GP2 you need to ensure the GP3. Okay guys. Okay, we'll meet by tomorrow and we'll continue with our IAM topic. IAM topic is pretty huge actually. Probably it will take up to Thursday. Then in Thursday, in Friday, we're going to be complete the S3 website. So later we'll entering into the one more pretty important concept, the concept called EKS and ECR and Lambda and the cloud formation templates. Later point of time, we'll entering into the concept called AWS backup and CI/CD for your respective additional topic. So once this is done, I will enter into the concept of called networking. So once you guys are done with the networking, then you guys are good to go and upload your resumes in your job. Until unless you have not pre-knitted your networking, you cannot crack the interview because first question trigger is how your VPC got designed. Right? So that is one thing you guys need to ensure that. Right? Okay, guys. Thanks for your time. Any other questions you'd like to ask me?
So for that, there is a requirement in our project actually. Like they want to create a AMI. Every 60 days, the old AMI has to be deleted and the new AMI has to be built. So for that, they want to be make a setup using Packer and all. So how we can able to do that actually? Whether is there any site or something to refer or something we can do, because it's some we
Packer
take.
is totally different concept actually.
So they're using what they refer, right? So earlier what they're telling, using Packer and Terraform, something they made it this kind of AMI. As every 60 days the retention period, the old AMI get deleted and the new AMI what and all available for the existing package to be updated on and all, right? So that and all to be automatically will create it teams. So what type of that's what I understand over the meeting. So how we can able to achieve this actually? Is there anything we can able to go through these things?
No, this is not related to our AWS section question, Jeevan.
Okay.
This is more of
Correct.
DevOps.
DevOps side. Okay. Fine. So like a kind of guidance, like where I can able to refer this actually. Is there anything separate kind of YouTube videos will be available related to that, or I just want to check with you because
So you need to know about, you should be more stronger in the terms of Terraform first. Then you
okay.
need to stronger in the Packer. So once you guys are done these two courses, I will share you the document. At this moment, if I share the document also, you will not going to understand what I'm trying to say.
Oh, got it. Got it. I just want, because none of the team members are not aware of actually. Previously, the old teammates was done and they left actually. So there are meetings. So just I want to check with you like how we can proceed.
Yeah, first complete these two topics, Terraform in the K Cloud. K Cloud is the respective one where you can find out this thing. K Cloud.
Fine.
Fine, guys. We'll meet by tomorrow. Right. Thank you.